When you look at the future for UW football, obviously it's one thing to have the success this season and be a top 4 team in the country. I was just talking to Coach DeBoer saying, that jump from top 50 to top 25, it's a big jump, but then top 25, top 10 is even bigger, but to get in the top 4 and stay there is a huge jump. What do you think still needs to happen to be a top 4 program in the country consistently year after year?
Well, you're not always going to get the breaks.
Yeah, true.
We have a generational quarterback. You're not always going to have a generational quarterback. So, I think from what I've seen of the staff, we're going to put the kids we have in a position to have success. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us, I look at Georgia and that it's obviously a top, maybe the top program in the country for what they've done the last 5 years, and they lose one game in 3 years, right? And all of a sudden they're out of the playoffs. So, it's a fine line. Mm-hmm. And that 4 is going to be 12. And, and I think as we look, how do we stay in the top 12? Mm-hmm. And I think the Big Ten is an important thing, a really important thing from this standpoint. The consensus in the country after the month of September was the Pac-12 was the best league in the country.
Crazy, huh?
By November, right? And we started playing one another. Now everybody dissed the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. And so the ability, I think, to play in Eastern and Central time zones on a regular basis, even if our team doesn't change its level of performance one bit, our credibility and our relevance will be higher because of where we're playing. Yeah. And so, I think that's going to be a big deal in us keeping that position in the top 12. Yeah. And again, it doesn't mean we're changing anything about the program. We're not recruiting better guys or all of a sudden the coaches take a class, right, and get smarter. But just the move to the Big Ten is really going to help us. Yeah, it's got to be big from an exposure on the media side too, right? The Big Ten with the new deal with CBS and NBC and NBC primetime games. Just to think, for a while it was been hard to watch Pac-12 TV sometimes and watch. You got sometimes there's nothing against a lot of those guys. They have great announcers, and I love some of those guys. But they're you got USC, UW playing on. You can't watch it on the East Coast. Everyone's trying to watch it. It's got to be big. And was that obviously an exciting part for you guys to have more exposure? Yeah,
You guys know I love football. And this football season, I've been trying to find a new way to bet on sports. I'm sick of using casinos, the traditional way to do it. And I found the best way to do it, had to tell you guys about it. It's on Cut. Cut is the game-changing social betting platform. Look no further. This is where you gotta be. It's a peer-to-peer betting playground. So put your money where your mouth is. It's time to fire on sports on the best new app. I've been looking for a long time, and I found it. It's on Cut. Use my promo code ADAMB and get a 10% deposit match at cut.com. That's cut.com, Kutt.com. Use my code ADAMB for a 10% deposit match when you deposit money.
The TV world in college athletics has changed so much over the last decade. And when Jim Delaney founded the Big Ten Network, it was like people were fuming mad because they were going to have to subscribe to some new channel, and then that became basically the template. But no other really network has succeeded other than the Big Ten Network, right? So, over the air versus streaming and everything else had changed, and I think we're in a little bit of a tumult in the TV market right now. What's next? 3 years ago we thought digital, everything was going to be digital. Now I'm not so sure, right? So
because they had the Apple deal, right? Possibly.
That's right. So timing is everything. Whether you hit the market at a high or whether you hit the market, it's like buying a house, right? If you bought it 3 months ago and the interest rates were 7.5%, you're trying now. So the exposure is really important, without a doubt. But that TV landscape is going to continue to evolve and continue to change. But when you're in Seattle, you want people in the Midwest and the East Coast having access to watch you. And remain credible and remain in that public eye. So it's a big deal.